Hello everyone, and welcome to our Language School The World, where we teach real English in an easy and fun way. So how good is your grammar? Let's find out together. In this video, we have 10 fun and honestly pretty complex grammar questions for you, each one testing a different rule. If you can answer all 10, then your English is very good. And if you're thinking, I'll get all 10 right for sure, don't be so sure. You might be surprised. But before we start, we kindly ask you to click on the subscribe button so you never miss out on all our free content and our channel can continue growing. Your support means the world to us. Thank you. All right, let's dive into the first rule. Can you tell which of these two sentences are correct? If you were to interview the Prime Minister, what would you ask? Or were you to interview the Prime Minister, what would you ask? So which one is correct? Surprise, they are both correct. This is because conditional sentences, often called if clauses, don't always need the word if. In more formal situations, we use something called inversion. This means that we swap the order of the subject and the verb. These types of sentences are called inverted conditionals or sometimes reduced conditionals. So basically, we switch the order of the verb and the subject. You'll mostly see this in formal situations. So for the first conditional, we use the word should before the subject, and then we add the infinitive form of the main verb. So the structure looks like this: should plus subject plus infinitive. For example, should you book with us again, we will give you a 3% discount. This is the same as saying, if you book with us again, we will give you a 3% discount. You can actually do this also with the second and third conditional sentences. Can you think of any examples? Let me know in our comments or watch our upcoming videos where we are going to show you how to do this seamlessly like a native English speaker would. Okay, let's move on to rule 2. Tell me if there is a mistake in the sentence. Sarah and myself went to the event last night. You can pause to think about it. If you spotted a mistake, you are right. The mistake is with myself. This is a mistake that even native speakers often make. The correct version is Sarah and I went to the event last night. Why? Because myself is a reflexive pronoun. We use reflexive pronouns when the subject and the object of the sentence are the same person. For example, I taught myself the guitar. In our example, we need a subject pronoun, so I is correct. Remember, if the subject and the object are different, don't use reflexive pronouns. This is such a common mistake, even with native speakers, and who knows, maybe one day it will be accepted in informal or casual speech. But you don't make that mistake. Okay, let's move on. Let's go on to rule number 3. Talking about reflexive pronouns, what do you think about the sentence? Is it correct? I washed and shaved myself before going to the party. Now, if you are learning English, one of the most common slip-ups with reflexive pronouns is using them with verbs that describe actions we usually do for ourselves. This is often due to translating directly from your native language into English. For example, in English, we don't typically use pronouns with verbs like wash and shave or concentrate or relax. These actions are assumed to be things that you do for yourself, so there is no need to emphasize it with a reflexive pronoun. So in the sentence, I washed and shaved before heading out to the party, there is no need to say I washed myself because it's clear that you washed yourself. Please concentrate on the instructions. There's no need for concentrate yourself, okay? Or you need to relax and stop stressing over the small stuff. Again, there is no need to say relax yourself. It isn't necessary. So the key is to remember that English often skips the reflexive pronoun in situations where it's clear that you're talking about your own actions. So keep on practicing and this will soon come naturally. Let's look at rule number 4. Can you combine these two sentences using the structure not only and but also? So sentence 1 is, she didn't just arrive late. And sentence 2 is, she brought the wrong report as well. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about it, or you can pause the video. So the answer is, not only did she arrive late, but she also brought the wrong report. Did you get that right? This construction, not only and but also, is called a correlative conjunction. Now, this is not important for you to know what it's called. What is important to know is that it is used to present two related pieces of information where both are somewhat surprising, with the second piece of information, so after but also, being even more remarkable than the first. So in this case, not only did she arrive late, which is already surprising, but she also brought the wrong report. So double oops. So here's the formula, not only plus the A, but also and the B section of the sentence. Okay, let's move on to rule 5. Which sentence is correct? The band are on tour all summer. The band is on tour all summer. Okay, actually, they are both correct. Well, at least in British English, band is a collective noun which refers to a group of people. A collective noun also refers to a group of animals or things as one thing. So in British English, we can use either is or are with collective nouns, depending on how we see the group, as one unit or as individual. So the band is on tour all summer and the band are on tour all summer both work. But in American English, people usually treat collective nouns as singular. So they would say the band is on tour all summer. Now, as I said before, a collective noun is a word that names a group of people, animals, or things, each with its own unique name for different groups. Apparently, there are about 200 in the English language. For example, most people know that a group of cows is called a herd, a group of fish is called a school, and maybe you know that a group of lions is called a pride. But did you know that a group of otters is sometimes called a raft when they're swimming together? Or a group of swans is called a wedge, but only when they are flying in formation. This is something that has always fascinated me, and I think we are going to do a video about this. Let us know in the comments if you're curious about these collective nouns too. Okay, so let's move on to rule number 6. Look at these two sentences. Which would you choose? Who or whom? So, who or whom ate the last cookie? And who or whom did you call last night? So here's the rule. Who is the person doing the action, so the subject. Who ate the last cookie? Who is the subject, the cookie eater. Whom is the person receiving the action or the object. Whom did you call last night? So whom is the person you called. An easy trick to remember, if you can replace it with he or she, use who. If you can replace it with him or her, use whom. Remember, both him and whom end with an M, so it's easy to remember, right? However, please remember that whom often sounds fussy and unnatural in regular speech and writing, even when it is actually technically correct. So, for example, it depends on whom you ask. In these cases, it's perfectly standard to use who instead. So, who did you call last night is absolutely used in authentic English. Now, let's move on to something different. Rule number 7. Look at the sentence and decide whether it's correct. Running for the bus, my coffee spilled everywhere. Wait, was the coffee running? I guess not. So I'm sure that you will agree with me that running for the bus, I spilled my coffee everywhere. Now, this is called a dangling participle. It is not important to know this name. What is important is that it happens when you start a sentence with a descriptive phrase, but forget to attach it to the right subject. It can make things hilariously confusing. So, for example, walking through the kitchen, the smoke alarm was going off. This sentence literally means that the smoke alarm was taking a walk or going for a stroll. The key not to make this mistake? Make sure that the descriptive phrase matches the subject that follows. Let's look at the next sentence for rule number 8. Is it correct? 3 deers crossed the road at noon. Not quite. There is a mistake here, and it's with the plural. In English, we don't say deers, we say deer. So the correct sentence would be 3 deer crossed the road at noon. Surprising, right? So English is actually full of irregular plurals that don't follow the usual add an S rule. From goose to geese, from mouse to mice, from foot to feet. There are really many examples where the plural changes in unexpected ways. And then there are words that don't change at all, and their plural form, just like deer, stays the same. So we have words like sheep. So whether there's 1 or 100, it's still sheep. Aircraft, 1 aircraft, 2 aircraft. There is no S here. These are called invariable nouns, and they can throw even native speakers off balance sometimes. Rule number 9. Here is a sentence and decide which option fits best. Neither the dog nor the cat is or are responsible for the mess. So which one would you choose? When you say neither, you are referring to more than one person or thing. So neither should take a plural verb form, right? Well, no. Both neither and either, or either, are always singular if the two things you're talking about are singular. So neither the dog, just one dog, nor the cat, so just one cat, is responsible for the mess. The same goes for neither of the pets is responsible. Even though pets is plural, neither still means neither one. The only time it works to pluralize the verb is if one or both of the subjects is plural. So here is an example. Neither Lady Gaga nor the Backstreet Boys are performing tonight. And here is the last rule. Rule number 10. I need to lay down. Is it correct or should it be lie? So when it comes to commonly confused words, there may not be more understandably mixed up pair than lay and lie. The words are not interchangeable, though many people use them that way. Lay needs an object, while lie does not take an object. Technically, saying I need to lay down is incorrect because you have to lay something down. So please lay that expensive book down on the table carefully. This is the correct use of lay. But the real confusion comes from the fact that the past tense of lie is lay. So he wasn't feeling well, so he lay down. This is the past, and in this case, it's correct. So the past tense of lay instead is laid. This is enough to make your head hurt, that you might need to lie down. Okay, so this was the last crazy confusing rule. How many did you get right? How many did you know? Let me know your score in the comments. Remember, grammar doesn't have to be boring. There are many funny, surprising, and strange things in the language. By discovering these fun facts, you will be better prepared to use English like a pro. Remember, mastering a language is all about practice and perseverance. So keep watching, keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we grow as learners. And remember, as we say in English, practice makes perfect. If you like this video, please hit the like button and we hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.